Welcome to Grade 1 View, the podcast for future CRNAs by future CRNAs, a partnership between AANA and Beyond the Mask.
Whether you're about to graduate from a nurse anesthesia program, trying to get accepted to nursing school, or you're somewhere in between,
this podcast is a resource and safe space for all things nurse anesthesia.
We're your Season 2 host team. I'm Levi Davis.
I'm Kelsey Muir.
I'm Mackenzie Lane.
And I'm Nicholas Alexander. So grab your Mac or your Miller, turn up your flows, and get ready, because this is Grade 1 View.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Grade 1 View. I'm Levi, and today we're getting you ready for one of the biggest events in our profession, the AANA Annual Congress, this year in Boston. Whether this is your first annual Congress or you've attended before, there are countless opportunities for RNs and residents, or should I call us future CRNAs, to learn, network, discover new ideas, and become more involved in nurse anesthesia. With so much happening throughout the week, we thought it would be a perfect time to bring on some people who make all of this happen. Joining me today are Hallie Evans, DNP, CRNA, AANA Senior Director of Education and Professional Development, Julie Rossberger, AANA's Manager of Member Engagement and Experience, and Becky Frese, AANA's Professional Practice Specialist. Thank you all for joining me, and welcome to Grade 1 View.
Thanks for having us. We're very excited to share what's coming up at Congress with you. I'm Hallie Evans. I've been a CRNA for almost 20 years now and in education for just about as long. And I'm a lover of all things education and professional development. And I think we've really curated a great Congress for you. I'm here to talk about what we have specifically for our RNAs and RNs. We have developed tracks for both of those groups and highlight some of the sessions that I think everyone will enjoy.
All right. I'm Julie Rossberger, Manager of Member Engagement at AANA. I've been working in membership at AANA for a little over 5 years now, and we're super excited to offer some new opportunities and some returning opportunities in ways that RNs and RNAs can engage at the event, make new connections, and get involved with AANA. So what you don't see behind the scenes is all of our teams on staff coming together to create these curated experiences for you all. So we're super excited to share some things to pay attention to and things to look out for at Congress.
Hi, everyone. I'm Becky Frese. I work within the Professional Practice Division at AANA, and I've been here for 3 years now. And I'm excited to talk to you about some of the resident wellness offerings at Annual Congress this year and the opportunities that you have to connect with different resources and kind of jumpstart your career and make sure that you're supported as you move into being a CRNA. And then I also want to highlight some other resident-specific events, including College Bowl and the resident breakfast.
Sweet deal. Thank you again all for joining me today. I went to Nashville for my first annual Congress last year, and I was blown away at how large this event was. When I went down to the expo hall and just I want to say arena, but it was like this big convention center, and I didn't realize how huge the AANA Annual Congress was. So for anybody that's never attended it, how would you describe the experience outside of just huge?
I think each year, Nashville was amazing. I've been going to congresses as an AANA member and now as a part of the staff. And each year they do just get bigger and better and more exciting. And so I think on top of all the CE opportunities, there are excellent CE opportunities, which we know people come to get their continuing education credits. Any topic you can think of, from rural care to cardiovascular anesthesia, you'll find it there. It's a great place to find CRNAs within the same subspecialties and looking possibly to move into other subspecialties or gain more information and really connect. So I think that sense of community, imagine, like you said, a huge conference with lots of educational opportunities, but also lots of chances to learn and grow professionally outside of continuing education credits.
Yeah, I love that. And I like that you said the sense of community, because I did want to mention that with Nashville. It just felt like everything that you learn about, and you hear about AANA and have to be a member when you're a student, and you just feel that sense of community once you're all together, all in one spot. And like you said, there's just so much excellence and education. You're just surrounded by so much greatness that it's overwhelming. So that's what we wanted to have this episode for, was just to discuss all of this, and then tracks for our RN listeners that are going to be future CRNAs and future SRNAs or RNAs. And then also for our residents as well, like which track, is there a track option for us? Is there some kind of guideline that we should be following when we get to Boston?
Yeah, so I think one of our big goals this year is to really make it less overwhelming if you're trying to navigate Congress, whether it's the first time or your second time as a RRNA. It's a lot to take in. So one of the things we've done, and you'll see it on our conference schedule if you go to the AANA website, is we've marked the sessions for RNs and for our RNAs. And along with that, we've created a gaming app that kind of follows the sequence of the rRNA and RN sessions to distinct tracks, kind of curated again and geared towards those member groups and conference attendees. And so you're going to see a lot more intentional programming to try to take away all that confusion and where should I go and what would be best for me at this stage as a RN looking to get into school or interested in the profession versus an rRNA that's already got our foot in the door, right? And like you said, a future CRNA before you know it. So that's one of the main things that we've done. And we are having 2 webinars, and one for RNs, kind of a know before you go about Congress, and one for rRNAs. And so the RN edition of that is on the 18th of August at 6 p.m. CST, and the rRNA edition is on the 17th of August, also at 6 p.m. Central. And so we've divided it so it's a little less confusing for everyone, more intentional programming. And those webinars will really go into the sessions in a lot more detail than we'll have time to do here, geared towards those groups.
Those will be very helpful for, I know, me and for other listeners too. So when it comes to, you're mentioning CEs and educational lectures and things like that, it seems like there's a lot that go on. So with the RNs and the rRNAs and then just the CRNAs, there's going to be all these sessions going on at one time, and you just have to select which ones you want to. Is there a way that you can kind of like track that out? You said that you mentioned like a gaming app. That sounds pretty neat. I don't think you guys had that in Nashville.
No, this is our first time having that. And so it tracks those all out for you. It tells you for that day, what are the sessions that are part of the RN track, what are the sessions that are part of the rRNA track, and just kind of takes you through Congress through this game, but provides you all of that information. So you don't have to sit there and, necessarily mark the sessions you're interested in. If you're unsure, you can obviously attend, some sessions off of that, but this is what we're really recommending. And then also on that game are things like first timer event, for example, for all the RNs and rRNAs in addition to CRNAs coming for the first time. And then we have some rRNA specific events that RNs might want to watch also, like poster presentations and the College Bowl, which we know is a lot of fun and a huge hit always.
Yes. So Julie, member engagement and experience. That means first timer event is on you.
Yeah, that's correct. So we're hosting the first timer event this year. This is our 3rd year having the first timer networking event, and this will be on the first night of Congress. So on Friday, August 21st. So this is a really good way to give everyone a warm welcome to the event. So anyone who's attending Congress for their first time is welcome to join. There will be some finger foods and some drinks, and also some opportunities to connect and build your AANA community. You can meet AANA board members and fellow first timers. So really, it's a great way if you're attending Congress by yourself, maybe, or maybe with just a small group. It's a really good way to meet a buddy or meet someone that you can hang out with throughout the conference, and also start building that network of future CRNAs that will stick with you for likely the entirety of your career. We're really excited to welcome all first timers to that event. So stay tuned for some more information, but we do hope to see you all there.
Any other experiences we should know about that aren't advertised as much, or they are and just we wouldn't be aware of it until we got there?
Yeah, so we do have a few other opportunities. One that comes to mind for residents is the Bridge program kickoff. So this is actually based on invite only for residents who are entering the 3rd year of their program. So the Bridge program is designed to support nurse anesthesia residents during their third year of school as they transition into becoming a CRNA. You'll be paired with a coach who's a few years ahead of you as a CRNA, likely between 4 and 6 years in practice as a CRNA. And then you'll get access to a curated dashboard with different resources to help guide you through your first year of becoming a CRNA. So we're kicking off the Bridge program with a breakfast on Friday the 21st. So like I said, that's invite only for those who are entering their third year in their program. For more information about that or to be included in the Bridge program, you can contact help@aana.com because you will need to register and be signed up for it beforehand. So any questions can go to help@aana.com and our team can assist you with that. Another really great opportunity for residents is the AANA Career Networking event hosted by Motion. So whether you're about to graduate or maybe you're earlier on in your program, this is a great chance to meet dozens of employers to enhance your career prospects. And it's a fun and relaxed environment. They'll have light refreshments served. So a great way just to kind of put out some feelers and interact with some employers and hiring groups at the event. So this is free as well. So anyone is welcome to join this.
Julie, is there any kind of RN experiences? We've mentioned a lot about CRNAs and our RNA experiences, but what about our RN members?
Yeah, so for RN members, we are actually hosting mock interviews at Annual Congress. So this is our first time offering mock interviews for RNs. We piloted this opportunity at mid-year assembly this year, and it was a hit. So we are hosting more mock interviews at Annual Congress. The registration for the mock interviews is currently open, and I'll talk a little more about that in a bit. But just to give you a quick overview of the mock interviews, it's just a way for RNs to practice school interview questions in a supportive setting. So you'll rotate through multiple CRNA faculty, and you'll receive direct feedback and individualized feedback on your communication style and overall interview presence. So each appointment is 20 minutes and you'll rotate through 3 faculty in that 20 minutes where they'll ask you common interview questions just to kind of prep you for what the interview process might be like.
And you said that you register for it. Is it an extra cost or is that included with the RN registration?
It is not an extra cost. It's free for RN members of AANA. So you must be an RN member of AANA to sign up. The link to register for this was in the RN APRN newsletter that went out on July 28th. If you're interested, be sure to check that newsletter. There is a link there with some information on how to register. Space is limited. It's flying off the shelves. So if it is full, we will allow walk-ins as space is available. So don't fret if you don't get to sign up through the link. Just show up to the room on site and we may be able to accommodate walk-ins if there's a no-show. So definitely check the link in that newsletter and get some more information about how to sign up.
So speaking of like residents and everything like that, so Becky, I see you're wearing your College Bowl t-shirt. We were just joking about how it's lobster themed, and any of the millennials of our time would remember Amanda Bynes and the Dancing Lobsters. So Becky's going to work on trying to get those hired for the College Bowl. I'm actually going to be on stage in the College Bowl. So Becky, tell us more about these events.
College Bowl is going to be held on Sunday, so we encourage everybody to come out and show your school spirit. We have teams representing all regions, so make sure that you're representing, or your team will be there to represent you. And we also want to mention that Dr. George Valdez is going to be hosting this year, and we have a brand new format for how the game show is going to take place. So 37 years, we're changing it up.
Okay, sweet deal. What other experiences and what's like a can't miss event? Any of you can answer this. What should you not leave Boston not doing?
I think Party with a Purpose. It's going to be at Fenway. I'm really excited. I've gone to many Party with a Purposes, and I think this one is just going to outdo what you've seen before. And then I also just want to mention, you'll see when you register, we have an escape room set up, and this is not for CE, but there is a link also that we can circulate. But There are spots reserved just for our RNAs, so keep that in mind. And you sign up. It takes about 20 minutes to get through the whole experience. Lots of photo ops, lots of little mind challenges in it. And so I think that's going to be a lot of fun and something new that we've added this year too.
Yeah, I love an escape room. That's exciting. Is that going to be like in the expo hall, or is it somewhere completely separate?
It's in the lobby where you register, but it is
Okay,
completely walled off, private section. So it'll be obvious where it is and you'll see it when
sweet.
you
Yeah,
get
I
there.
saw the ad for it. It's a unstable abdomen, so
Yes,
that would be exciting because those can be some hot cases. So
absolutely.
that would be fun. It kind of is like your ticking time bomb situation, but make sure you sign up for that. Speaking of like the expo hall and everything, there's so many vendors that are coming. How would you suggest like getting to these sessions, doing all these fun things, and also having time to walk around, talk to vendors, and get a bunch of free stuff?
So there are times when there's no sessions when the exhibit hall is open. So really go in and take advantage of that. I still walk the exhibit hall as much as I can. There's so much good equipment, new equipment, innovative equipment, and like you said, a lot of swag to grab along the way.
Nice. I remember walking around the expo hall, and there's just like there's everybody has like fun games. You can meet people from core anesthesia. You can meet it seems like every single anesthesia company has a booth, and Grade One View and Airway Exchange and Beyond the Mask will have a recording area. So make sure you guys stop by and see us. Don't be scared to say hey. We will be there as well.
Oh yeah, the podcast booth is right next to the puppies, so
Oh,
you can't
perfect.
miss it.
Uh, I think our podcast crew this cycle is they're all dog people. So they're
Perfect.
Kelsey's going to be super happy with that. Nicholas, Mackenzie, we're all going to be like, sorry, you guys will record later. We're going to play with the dogs.
Maybe you can get them on as a special guest.
Yes, yes. So there are also workshops that will be happening, and those do cost the member extra. But there's some really difficult airway stuff. There's ultrasound guided stuff, regional workshops that you can sign on to that go on. I think it goes on throughout the entire conference. But one that we would really want to highlight here on Grade One View is the pre-conference resident workshop. And that'll be on Friday. I believe it starts at noon. Can anybody speak to that?
This is our second annual resident workshop, and it's Beyond the Books, Thriving in Training and Preparing for Practice. So last year was our first time holding a pre-con workshop for our residents, and we asked for a lot of feedback and advice of how to improve it for the next year. And we took all of that and we crammed it into about 5 hours. So this workshop is going to focus on wellness, career preparation, and connection. So we'll have panels of residents talking about their personal stories and their experience as residents. We'll have a wellness speaker talking on wellness techniques, financial wellness strategies. So we're actually going to have financial experts come in and talk about budgeting and planning for success and how to save for your 401k and all of those fun topics. We have career preparation sessions talking about how to write a CV, interview skills, and job applications. We have a transition focused panel, which is all early career CRNAs who are within the first couple of years of their career, and they're going to share what it's like to step it from the resident role into a CRNA role. And then lastly, we'll be closing out the day hearing from AANA leadership. So we have former board president Jan Setner, who will be providing a closing call to action and giving advice to our residents for pathways for mentorship, AANA resources, and other opportunities to stay involved.
That sounds awesome. And yeah, Mackenzie is going to be actually introducing Jan Setner, I believe. And I'll be at that workshop as well. I changed my flights to Thursday so I could get in and so I could be there for Friday. So I'm super excited for that workshop because that seems really geared towards the RRNA experience.
Yeah, we're capping the workshop at 200 people. Right now we have about 150. So slots are filling up fast.
Sweet deal. And I know that the issue that I had was I had already registered for the conference, but you can add this registration on, and it's only $25. But you have to reach out to the email that they were mentioning earlier, help@aana.com, or is there
Correct.
a different way to? Okay, sweet. Because I emailed it as well to get it added. So is there any other RRNA events that you guys want to shout out, or RN events?
I do want to mention, I know you talked about some of the workshops being an extra cost, but we have the ultrasound open labs throughout Congress, and those are not an extra charge. So that's a great place to kind of go in and get your hands on ultrasound machines and practice scanning or learn about scanning if it's something new to you. And those are included in conference registration and run throughout. So if you miss it one day, you can easily go in and pick it up the next day.
Awesome. Yeah. You were mentioning before, like all the cool things that you get to like play with and all like the tech and things like that. Speaking of which, isn't it the hackathon? Isn't that something that goes on during Congress? Could you speak to that? Isn't that like new innovative things that are coming out, or do I have that wrong?
Yeah, so I can speak to that. So it's actually one of the events we're recommending on the RN and RRNA tracks, I believe, on both of them, because you do get to kind of see CRNA business from a different perspective, not so much like the 1099 business model and planning your practice and all of that, but these really interesting innovators with really creative ideas pitching to AANA. So I highly recommend going by that. It's a longer event, but even if you can just go for part of it, it's worth hearing what people are coming up with.
Yeah, like new ideas, and it could shape your practice one day.
Yeah.
And then just to speak about, because I'm a big free food, free drinks, freebie kind of person. So we've got the first timer event, and then there's a resident breakfast, correct?
Correct. So the resident breakfast is going to be held on that Sunday, and we will have free food for you. It's also an opportunity to hear from AANA leaders, to hear about the residents who have won awards recently, scholarships from the AANA Foundation, and vote for the next resident representative to the Education Committee. And we set it up so conveniently for you all. It'll be in the same room as all of the resident sessions that day. So come early, eat breakfast, and stay for the sessions after.
Yeah, and then after the College Bowl, there's also a reception as well.
Correct.
And that should have free food and drinks.
Yes.
And then there's also, I know that there's like all these companies and all of these different foundations and stuff have these outside events going on as well. So just if you see their links and ads, just see if you can plug those things in, because for the most part, that stuff's all free and it's a good time. Some of it does go late into the night, way past my bedtime, but it is free and it's fun. But just make sure that you can get up in the morning to get there to all of this great stuff that goes on every single day while we're there in Boston. So we've talked about a lot of things, kind of like bounced around everywhere. But let's list 5 things that are on the schedule, or 5 sessions on the schedule that the residents should be attending.
So sessions not to miss include our opening ceremonies, but then right after that, we have our keynote speaker, and she is incredible. We have Rebecca Gregory. She's a Boston Marathon survivor and mental health advocate.
That's awesome.
She's had many surgeries herself, familiar with CRNAs, and it's just going to be a fabulous presentation. And immediately following that, we have a session called Beyond the Beep, and it's about pulse oximetry, hidden hypoxia, and safety. And so that kind of morning of Saturday, I recommend everybody attends those sessions. Any conference that you see with a name attached to it, for example, the Jan Stewart Memorial Wellness Lecture, these are ones that are also being broadcasted for the virtual conference. And these are great ones that you'll see in the RN and RRNA games and paths as well that we recommend everyone goes to. So Jan Stewart is a wellness lecture. This year it's on See Something, Do Something, recognizing and responding to substance use disorder in the anesthesia professional. And then I'm not sure how many I'm on, but there's also the John Gard, same thing. If you see a name, that's one you should attend that has like a name before the session title. And that one is on Guardians of the Profession, Leadership, Courage, and Timing in Nurse Anesthesiology. And then finally, the Goldie Brangman lecture, What the Chart Doesn't Say, Social Determinants in the Anesthesia Plan. I'm actually part of that one. I'm honored to do it. It's our DEI main lecture, and that will be broadcasted as well. So anything that we're recommending in the tracks, CRNAs are free to go to whatever is interesting to them. But I recommend everybody attends these sessions we just went over.
Nice. Okay. And yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned the virtual event, because that, I don't know if a lot of people know about that, but if you can't make it to Boston, there is the virtual event and you get all the recorded sessions, and there's a whole virtual schedule that you can follow when you go to register. It's just a separate little link when you're in your registration. Hallie, Julie, Becky, thank you all so much for taking your time to join us and for sharing the behind-the-scenes look at everything that happens at this year's annual Congress.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So just guys, remember the RN webinar, so it'll be fresh on your mind, is August 18th at 6 p.m. Central. And then the resident webinar for the annual Congress is August 17th at 6 p.m. Central Time. And that'll give you just a fresh perspective and a more deep dive at what those tracks that we've been talking about for you guys look like. So if you're headed to Boston, I hope today's conversation encouraged you to take advantage of all these awesome opportunities that are available, whether that's attending an inspiring lecture, meeting somebody new, networking, exploring the exhibit hall and all the awesomeness there, or finding a new way to get involved in our profession. As always, thank you for listening to Grade 1 View. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share with a friend or classmate who's headed to Annual Congress. Follow us on Instagram at Grade 1 View Podcast. Safe travels to everybody going to Boston. We'll see you there. Don't be shy. Come say hey. All of us from Grade 1 View will be there, and the majority of the Airway Exchange cast will be there. We'll see you at Annual Congress in Boston.